Okay, everybody, it's episode 34. We are moving. Today we have Sheri Hauser from Pink Noise podcast that I have been on a couple times, and I love talking to Sheri because we always go deep into topics, and she interviews coaches, healers, artists, everybody. So we should be having ourselves a great time tonight. Ryan, hello.
Hello. Yeah, it sounds like fun.
It's going to be great. I love Sheri. So here we go. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 34. I'm just going to sing every episode. Just 4 with such clarity. That we're really excited. So today we have Sheri Hauser of Pink Noise, who I have had the pleasure of talking to several times. And every time we talk, it goes deep. We always go deep, and we love that. And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sheri, but I think every time we get done, we're like, I think we need a couple more hours. Because it's not like we run out of things to talk about. And so there you go. So, Sheri, will you tell us all? We're going to talk about many things, but give us a background about yourself, but also like how you came to do Pink Noise and what it's all about, and your passion behind it all.
Fantastic. I love it. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
And it's true. Our conversations have felt effortless, like so much ease in finding common ground and exposing what it is that you love to do and why you're showing up as an intuitive coach. It's
fun.
Right up my alley. Yeah. So you asked about the birthplace of Pink Noise.
Yes.
I was sitting in a creative agency office at the time called United Creations, which is now Shift Up, a former employer of mine. And one of the fellas who does web design and is a musician and multi-talented individual, we were rapping about this podcast that I was doing where I was really chronicling a journey of my midlife crisis, basically.
Awesome.
And I had decided to call it The Unraveling. And I had found this amazing sculpture on the internet that was made by someone in South Africa of this dancer, like unwinding. And it was a metal sculpture, but it was so fluid and gorgeous. And just the visuals spoke to what it felt like was happening as I was like revealing this messy process. And in this mini series that I did, I was featuring the folks who showed up to guide me. And when this friend, Mark Canning, heard that I was doing a podcast, he said, I know what you should call your podcast. And he gave me the name Pink Noise.
Wow. Why did he say that?
Well, I've had pink hair for over a decade, and it became part of my brand as I opened an art gallery and became a proprietor for the first time. I'm now no longer working for someone else. I was greeting people into my creative space where I sold one-of-a-kind handmade things from 200 different artists all over the Northwest. And I could do what I wanted. Like, there was nobody to say what was appropriate or not appropriate. So the logo was pink. It was called Tasty. And the logo had a green a-hole. And there were pink Dr. Seuss trees that my ex-partner painted all over the place. And it was just really fun. And it felt like if I'm going to be the proprietor of this, creative retail showcase, then be the brand. So the pink hair happened, and it's been over a decade. And even though the gallery's long gone, the pink hair stayed. So,
but I love that. And I love how, it must have felt really good to just like conjure up what you want to do. Just be like, you know what I think would be fun? I'd love to have like a gallery, and you know what I want to put in here? Like 200 artists who are doing like their own crafts and things like that. Like, really, I mean, that is so much good play. You know what I mean? To just, and I love that you were like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go do that. I'm going to do this. I mean,
Mhm.
because I think people can and they don't think they can.
Well,
So kudos.
and there's more to the story there. I just realized I hadn't turned my phone off yet.
It's a little music.
There's more to the story there because, yeah, it doesn't just happen, does it? Like
Mm-hmm.
there were two big events that led up to that, and I'll share them real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first is that the person I was married to for 20 years, his mother is an incredible sculptor. And she was always talking about the types of shows that she would go do and the galleries and how there was such a high percentage often taken. And she wanted an opportunity for her and her artist friends to showcase more of their work. And so I started producing pop-ups in 2007, like one-day art fairs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I would host them and I would get stuff donated, and then I would get space, and then I would give 75% back to the artist.
Nice.
And these were a lot of fun. And so I did these in 2007 and 8 and 9. And then there was a dream that my ex-husband and I always had about opening up some roadside attraction where the palm meets the pine down Highway 1.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, this is where we were going to retire. And I was going to call the store Joni Loves Tchotchkes.
Oh, shut up. I love that.
That's a good name. You're good with names. Yeah.
Oh my God. I love
Talk
that.
about dating myself too. I would definitely be speaking to a certain generation of people that get the reference.
Well, you know I'm with you, so.
Yeah. So
So is Ryan.
We talked about leaving Seattle one day and opening this roadside attraction, and and I got challenged at Thanksgiving in 2009. Hey, if we're gonna keep talking about this dream, but we don't ever act on it, like how? And so he said, how are we going to practice being business partners if we don't try something different? And that was Thanksgiving. And on December 31st of 2009, I signed a lease for the space.
Wow.
And I've never been in business for myself. I'd only ever had a job in an employer. So this was like just a leap.
Mm-hmm. It's a scary transition, but it sounds like worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, and I'm totally giving you kudos when I say like, wow, that's amazing. I mean, I love that you just do it, right? Like I'm totally giving you kudos, right? Like I do think for other people, they don't do it. It would be really hard, but like you wanted, like, you have an idea that you're like, I want to give artists an opportunity to, show their stuff and get more of a percentage. I'm doing pop-ups, right? Like that's all you all day. Hey, we want to do this. Like you actually go forward and find a space. Like I'm really applauding you for doing that. And you're setting a great example of one, the playfulness and vision of what you'd like to do, right? It sounds simple, but a lot of people don't do it, right? Maybe. But the fact that you do step forward and then go do it, like that maybe in some ways, because you're showing that it's possible, like maybe it's not that hard, right? Like, or at least to try is open to everyone. Trying is open to everyone, right? I love how my hands are like floating in this weird background thing. I mean, when we're going to post these finally to like YouTube. I'm just going to make the most of this.
Yeah. People will finally be able to see the wackiness.
Wow, what is she doing there?
I love it. I've been sad that I can't get virtual backgrounds don't work on my version of Zoom on my old computer.
Oh, no.
And whenever I'm in spaces with people who are using virtual backgrounds, I'm always a little jelly.
But I would bet you money that if you'll start making backgrounds for yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just make
It'll
actual
be one of your
backgrounds.
creations. Yeah. So I've made this wall back here that is, I mean, that will be more Sheri art. I just have a feeling. But anyways, like you just have a great history, and I think it's just good to tout that example of someone who has a vision and then plays and goes and does it. And I feel like the same thing with your podcast, the first one and well, the one that you're doing that is now called Pink Noise. I mean, you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, thanks. The name got planted and was in the background because I didn't use it then.
Mm-hmm.
But when Cindy Ann and Jeff Ramsey shut down Cafe Racer as a physical space on Roosevelt,
Right.
a beloved Seattle iconic event space, art gallery, bar,
Right.
they decided to bring a gift to the community of a different type and launched a radio station.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
because Jeff and Cindy were hosts to my Love Church project, which is another example of me getting some download and just jumping in with 2 feet, and all my limbs and body and heart and soul intact, produced this live event on first and third Sundays inside Cafe Racer's space through all of 2019. And so
Wow.
they got to experience me kind of bringing a live show to their stage that included guest speakers and an MC and authentic relating activities and conscious connection, 3 breath hug. We danced it out to
Wow.
a song at the end, and then we had a family dinner upstairs in the gallery.
Oh my God. Like,
And
that's
so, yeah.
amazing.
Sounds pretty cool. How did I miss this? I used to go
I
to Cafe
know.
Racer. Yeah. Now I feel like I've completely missed out.
I'm like, can you go do it again? Because I really want to go to that. I could see you doing that, though. I could totally see you doing that. Well, and I mean, just for people who maybe don't live in Seattle, you're right. Cafe Racer was like a legendary space, right? And cafe and all that, which had a horrific incident, right? Like I wasn't actually living here when that happened. I was in Minneapolis at the time, but I remember um, hearing the news too about the like, terrible shooting that took place there.
That's right.
Um, and and the grief around it because it
Mhm.
was so beloved. I mean, grief for the owners and closing it down and just how that one event demolished a lot other than a life, right? Not only a life, but
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. And so again, you brought like a seed of a flower to like plant in a space that needed some healing. And look at that. Like when you describe what it was or what all happened during the radio event, I'm like, that's a full celebration, like every time. It's like with dinner at the end. I'm like, what a nurturing, beautiful art piece you brought to that. Oh, just loving you all over again. I don't know. I just can't get enough of Sheri. I mean, you're an artist unto yourself. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm getting at too. Like you brought a curated event that I think was done in a very thoughtful way. Like the ingredients of that event had just what you mentioned, like conscious communing, a gathering at the end, a dance, right? Like I'm sure, or I would love to hear, like, was all of that specifically chosen? And what did you love about each one of those things when you did those shows? Like, what were all the thoughts behind it?
Hmm. I'm so appreciating that question. Really. Thank you.
You're
Like
welcome.
an opportunity to kind of say what mattered to me around those ingredients
Right.
and why it was the combination of those specific ingredients that kind of made this experience. And I'd been practicing this conscious connection set of communication tools known as authentic relating through a company
Okay.
called Art International.
Hmm.
And there's something about setting the mask down of who you think you're supposed to be and being seen for more of who you actually are that
Yeah.
really spoke to me. And it's one of the core tenets of this work. And this idea of Love Church was birthed in a float tank. I
Oh,
may have been a little bit high on cannabis at the time. Just saying,
that's all right.
direct access to source.
Yeah.
And so I'm in this float tank, and this idea shows up. This idea for Love Church shows up. The name, it's almost fully baked. I'm like, there's guest talks, there's inspirational guest talks of people who have somehow trudged through some kind of muck, and they come out the other side brighter and shinier because they accessed some tools and they got out of their own way, and now they're living into their human potential. So what did that take? What did that
Right.
take? And let's talk about it, because I find that when I hear those kinds of stories, I realize what's possible for me.
Right.
And I wanted to amplify those voices. So there was a real talk segment. And that's when I got to go out into the community and find individuals who figured something out, some kind of life hack.
Yeah.
What's your life hack? Let's do a 20-minute talk on it. So I called
That's
them
cool.
real talks, and I knew that would be a key ingredient. And then I have this amazing creature, one of my friends, Pam Mann. She, in her past lifetime, was a stand-up comedian and
Nice.
toured and everything. Now she's a nurse, and
Mhm.
she does integration therapy with plant medicines. And so she's quite a spectacular individual, but she has this personality like a drag queen, that she knows how to hold the stage.
Mhm.
And I shared this idea with her, and she said, I think you need an MC.
Oh, yes. I love that.
So
I
she
love
opened
that.
every show
Oh, cool.
in some fabulous outfit. And sometimes, well, the first time she did it, then it became more of a regular thing. But she brought a book called the Juice Bible. And she would open up the Juice Bible, and with her impeccable timing that comes from being a stand-up comic, she would read a passage from the Juicing Bible like she was, can I get an amen? And she did some call and response with this on stage, and it really landed. It was so great.
Oh my God.
So having her open the show was like this, she warmed up the crowd for me. That's what she did. And another girlfriend kind of like greeted everybody.
Right.
And kind of gave that warm aesthetic. And there were these curtains drawn. And so, we encourage people to go to the bar and get a Bloody Mary or a mimosa or soda. Like, it's
Yeah.
Love Church, hashtag not a church. So the opening, and then I came on and did a free-form talk. What was alive for me? What have I got juice about today? Kind of like a little self-love sermon, like what's going on right now? What are we all grappling with?
Yeah.
And then I did a round of introductions using a sentence stem. Like, let's try it right now, shall we?
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
All right, go.
Okay, Ryan, how would you finish this sentence? If you really knew me, you'd know.
That I collect lots of weird toys from the 70s.
Does it have to, are we supposed to,
Should I continue this sentence? Yeah, I guess we should know the rules better.
Yeah.
There's no rules.
Oh,
it's
even
just
better.
If you really knew me, you'd know. Carrie?
And I'm talking about myself, right?
Yes.
Oh God. If you really knew me, you would know that I seem bold on the outside, but I am a watcher and timid on the inside.
See, that's a lot deeper than my answer.
Okay. I've been delving into this stuff all week, and so it's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. Yeah. That what you see happen on the outside, especially on stage, is a lot more church to me than bravado. And there's a very quiet person who needs alone time on the inside afterward to rejuvenate.
I'm hearing you describe the personality of an introvert. And there are many, many powerful introverts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like do they call it an ambivert? Like I can.
Like ambidextrous.
There are times. Yeah, there are times when I need to connect, and then I need to be alone a lot.
I think that just sounds like a healthy, normal, balanced life.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I could only imagine the things that people said when you asked that around a room.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool idea just for starting things. Maybe we should steal that for the show.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
and
give her
there's so many places to go. Like just today in a circle that I was in, I asked, something I need to hear right now is, and what prompted that was we had
Ooh.
just talked about how each of us were showing up in our life and what we were stepping into with some courage.
Well, it's such a great invitation.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what surprises me most is that if everyone speaks for themselves, this is what I would like to hear right now. It's
Yes.
amazing how the affirmation that you are seeking can be the exact medicine for someone else.
Well, and that
Mm-hmm.
is so good to hear. Like ultimately getting to realize you're not alone. Because
Bingo.
especially if you're being asked to say, what do I need? Needs are so personal, and they are also, I feel like, vulnerable and often something you just haven't gotten. And it could go way deeper than the day, right? But if it means somebody else felt the same way, it's such great connective tissue and healing tissue to know when you're not alone. Like I just feel like sometimes when you're with your needs, you're really isolated and you can maybe stay isolated in it, right? Especially if it's a wound. But if you offer it out there and then someone else goes, oh my God, me too, there's something really helpful about that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I
Wow, that's
agree.
awesome. I love that because I do wish for connection. Like I often say lately that I am the kid really on the inside on the playground going, you want to play with me? Like really vulnerably, truthfully, dorkily, if that's a word, you know what I mean? Although I don't want to insult that. Like that is, I think everybody really wants that, but it's
Mm-hmm.
scary to do that because um it hurts. It hurts if somebody bites back, right? That hurts,
Yeah,
frankly.
for
Oh,
sure.
I've got all kinds of elementary school wounds from,
Right? Yes.
oh, so many.
Yeah.
Like
As
girls,
adults,
it's so
even,
hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
right? But like they're playing out as adults too. It almost hurts worse. You got it then, and adults are dishing it out as well.
Mm-hmm. I'll still be
Yeah.
going off to bed, about to fall asleep, and I'll have that memory from my childhood with the trauma of like, oh, I tried to do something with it, and it's
Yes.
so it's still there.
Yes.
Yeah, it still haunts us.
Yes.
And
I,
that's where the inner child work really shows up. And
oh my
any
God.
shadow work, if you're familiar with either of those terms.
Yes. I am currently in the process of doing a lot of inner child and shadow work. Like, and it's so interesting and feels good to do some of the practices because I think we get caught up on like, I gotta fix it. How do I fix it? Or what do I do here? Or obviously something's wrong or broken and I need to change. And the solution I'm finding really doesn't come in the form that I think, right? It isn't about fixing something. It's like about meeting yourself where you are and knowing that, however you were or whatever you didn't do might have been meant for that moment purposefully. So there's really nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like that always blows my mind. It's like maybe nothing was wrong and you just needed to experience that for a reason that is purposefully playing out now. See, Sheri, we're always going deep. Look, we're already in the deep waters.
Yeah.
But isn't this just like this is the delicious shit I love. I mean, I feel like I love to laugh and I love to be dumb, but at the same time, this is a good time to me. Like this is what
Yeah.
I find a good
Well, you used the term when you said dorkily, like, wait, so will you play with me?
time.
I mean, I, I heard you say dorkily, and like I loved you more because I'm either a dork or a spaz. Like that's
Right.
how I see myself often is a bit of a dork and a bit of a spaz. And I'm learning how to embrace that part of me
Hmm.
rather than um, rather than what do I want to say here? Like self shame, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
There's times where I'm in a circle of peers and I have a projection about someone else who's coming off really poised or elegant or they got their shit together,
Yeah.
and I can feel like an elephant on stilettos. You
Hmm.
know,
Right.
just
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
can. I can just. That's how I see myself sometimes.
I feel that way a lot lately.
And I
Yeah.
used to make myself like sort of wrong for it, like my self talk,
Right.
and that's softening. It's a journey, but it's softening.
Good for
Hmm.
you. Yeah. Good for you. I think that
I'd rather be the dork,
Oh yeah,
honestly.
right?
Oh yeah,
it's more fun. I think. I mean,
way
yeah.
fewer rules.
Well, and don't you think the sort of being the dork or whatever, being authentic, right? Like, or being silly or being playful,
Hmm.
like, why not remain playful and have fun, right? It's
Choose curiosity over judgment every time.
yeah. Well, you know what I think is interesting is I think, and maybe you and I have said this too, like just hearing about that creation that you made, and also other places that you held space for art and play, right? Like creating space for it to be there, or you leading it. Like I feel like I can relate, like when I put together Goodness, the band Goodness, like really behind the reason, like for the name, literally, and my idea in there for me was I want to create a band, and then a, a band that creates music that speaks to other people, right? But also, like when we play shows, I'm going to make sure that the people who don't feel like they fit in know that this is for them. Like, and would often on stage be like, look, if you're here to be cool, get the fuck out. Like, I don't care. And I'll be the first one to say it. And if
Yeah.
you don't like me, like literally to saying it because I believe that, but also for the people in the room. So someone is saying it for, you know what I mean? Like to create space. So I'm like, look, I got y'all.
Yeah. You're like you can go down the street, stuffy, boring band is
Hmm.
playing. You
Check it
know.
out,
Yeah,
dude.
they're over
Yeah.
there.
Or whomever. Like waste o time. Like, I mean, God bless everybody. Like I like people, but if someone's gonna, I don't like, I've never liked that. I've ever in my life, even as a kid, I like standing up for the underdog, uh, against someone who's, whatever.
Well, what
You know.
I'm hearing you do there is you're just, yeah, you said making space, but you're also bringing attention to your values. And so,
Yeah.
anyone that can stand up and say, here's what I believe. I believe this and I believe that. And if you're with me, then let's hang out. And if you're not, that's cool, but maybe we don't need to, hang out so much if we
Hmm.
don't believe the same thing. So you're just attracting more people who can dig you more when you're willing to stand up and say something like, "Hey, if you're just here to pose, fuck off. I'm
Right.
here to have some fun and to share my heart, my magic, my music."
Right. And not for a pat on the back. Right. Like I don't need to look like a cool martyr either. Right. I'm not looking for a badge. I'm just one of you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm really just one of you. And I desperately want communion. And it's not always easy in scenes. I mean, it could happen in any scene, an art scene, a music scene, and a theater scene, or, anywhere where cool factors into it sometimes, or
Hmm.
whatever cool means, or popular or interesting, or, whatever it is. I feel like that's a dangerous mode to get in because you're going to miss something. You're going to miss people. Or frankly, I just think nice people are important, you know,
Yeah.
just as important as what is impressive or genius or la 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 or supposed genius.
Hmm.
Um, period.
Yeah. Normal, nice people are just as important, or more so, in your life than maybe
Right.
that person who's like, oh, well, they're rich and talented and cool. It's like, well, okay, but there's all a lot
Yeah,
more of these
like
fun people that are out here that I relate to.
right, like valuable,
Hmm.
valuable, worth. You know what I
If I
mean?
could go back to high school, like the people that I would want to develop a relationship with,
Mm-hmm.
so different.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I had this moment. I had a pivotal moment in junior high, my seventh grade year, which uh, changed my paradigm, or I chose to change it, right? Like I had a kerfuffle with the popular people due to my own I did it to myself, right? Whatever, just was overly honest in a situation and that got out. And just watching the sociological, like, Lord of the Flies, like, reaction and what happened all that year really stopped me in my tracks. And at that moment, I just was, just witness to a lot of bullshit and recognizing it and then deciding like, well, this is all just a pile of bullshit. Like I'm pivoting and going over here. This can't be it, right? All your behaviors are ridiculous. Like, and it just like a light went on from that experience that was just sort of like, oh, wow, you're all kind of a pile of shit right here. I'm going to turn, maybe I'm heading for the punk rockers right now or the kids out smoking cigarettes in the parking lot. I don't know. I'm on a journey now. It's not you guys anymore. And so lots of people have that though too, right? Like just then hopefully they, side with themselves. But anyways, I feel like that's a part of your art. That's part of your artistry, right? Communing and conscious awakening and all this stuff. I mean, that you very clearly have said like, hey, that's my mission, in whatever venue or way you do it. When you were talking, I was like, oh my God, Sheri, like when we can all gather, we have got to do a theater show where it's like live. One, you've already done it. I'm like, can we do it again? And can you please invite me?
Yes, the answer is all of that. Yes. And you would ask me about the ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so just to like kind of wrap that up,
please bring more.
The 3-breath hug. I want to make sure I mention it because this past weekend, this has been a practice that's been deeply important to me for quite some time. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger in terms of the power. And at this party on Saturday night, just experiencing the true impact on like an unsuspecting other who was open for a hug. And then I ask, well, first of all, I overheard a conversation and someone else for the first time socially was bringing up the power of being in physical connection with another for 20 seconds. That it takes 20 seconds in order for the body and the nervous system to relax long enough. And it releases like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And so you feel great. It's an absolute natural high. But how often do you stay in that hug, that embrace, for your chest to lift, to relax, to breathe in together and exhale together? Like 3 whole breaths, man. And I'll tell you, so often, if someone can hang out with me for 3 breaths, they won't let go till at least 5.
Right.
There's people that bug out after 2, but it's amazing. And so I invited everyone that showed up to Love Church on every Sunday, that now is the time where I'm going to give you an opportunity to get naturally high. Are you ready?
Right. Right.
And then I would invite them to stand up and to find another person and to create the context of what would feel good, safe for them,
That's a really good point you bring up too. Like it was a safe space, right? Because I think sometimes people are afraid because some people aren't safe, right? Like some people aren't comfortable hugging, right? So it's nice that you create a space that's like an option to do that, right? And it's safe.
Right.
Because you can't let go really if you don't really feel safe. And I think if somebody's following their intuition, there's some people that just aren't safe. But it's nice that you created, again, another part of it is creating a safe space.
Yeah, that's probably the most important. Because like you want to be able to have that moment of intimacy, but both people need to want that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you can really, really let go when you actually feel safe. Like that deep, deep let go. Have you ever heard of Amma, the hugging saint? Right? Like I had never heard of her, and I don't know, it was a bunch of years ago. Someone had told me about her. I'm like, what are you talking about? And actually it was a friend of mine who'd actually gone to one of her gatherings years ago.
This is the Indian woman that goes and people line up to have hugs with her?
Oh, I've heard of her. Okay.
Right. So people don't know. Yeah, Amma, the hugging saint, literally goes around the world it's free, I believe, and hundreds of people come. And basically, my friend had said, she sits in the room. She's just a motherly, like in a white sari, like, um, and she sits, and people come through. And what she had said was, you're in line, and when you get to her, she one hugs you like a mother, like just not like a mother effer or whatever, but like a mother, like to her chest, like rocks you, and then I think she says something to you, and like grown men weep. I went and looked it up on YouTube and watched, and it's like it's so primal, it's so deep, just a mothering, like a good mothering, nurturing mothering. And my friend who had gone to see one of these events, she's like 12 feet or 20 feet before you get to her, you have to go on your knees because she's actually sitting. You can't stand above her and hug her. But she's like 20 feet from her. She was like, you can't even imagine the energy like coming off of all of these people coming to get healing and receive this motherly like embrace. She's like, it was unreal. And I was like, yeah, because we don't, well, for all the reasons, and we're all kind of wounded. We don't all mostly allow people in like that. But when you go and you've got all these people who are allowing themselves to be open enough to receive, I mean, that's such a huge thing. Like in the work I'm doing right now, the allowing of receiving is the thing, like huge. Um, because you can talk the talk and all this sort of things, but I'm like, if you internally really aren't going to allow or receive care or love or affection, like, or a hug or any of that, like that's it's a big deal. It's like a big deal for your whole person. So yeah, she was saying it was unlike anything she'd ever experienced. And again, like she just gives you this, like what you would imagine is the motherly like embrace and rocks you like a child. Like grown men weep, like um so I love that. And I feel like again, the space you created allows for that that kind of nurturing, that kind of care. Like I've always thought with the coaching I'm doing, one of the things I will eventually do is when we can be in person is to have a space where part of the coaching will would entail touch, right? In some way. And what I mean for me is like the hug or holding someone's hand or just having your hands to bear, and bearing to witness lovingly, right? Like you have to really create. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to sit with someone and intuitively feel what they might need. If it's just hands on their hands while they sit, or an arm on their back and one on the shoulder, right? Like whatever embrace that is, eventually that's something I really want to incorporate. Because like you're saying, like the hug, I think those things are extraordinarily powerful
Yeah.
in a good way.
It seems like after this break we've had of less physical contact with the other folks, we're gonna need it more. Like
Yeah.
very
Oh
soon.
my God. I mean, Sheri, did you think that when you were at the gathering you were at, when people were talking about physical, was that part of the conversation? Because we've all been so isolated?
Yeah, it's a huge part.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's that thing of like, can I really allow myself to enjoy this without being afraid?
Hmm.
Yes.
There's a new layer of there's like a little trauma, from
Hmm.
don't touch anyone, right? Like, oh, don't touch me, like, all of this fear and separateness.
Hmm.
And so as we become vaccinated, this particular event I was at, I will say, the criteria for attending was we paid a fee and a home test was given to us in our car that we
Okay.
took in the car for 15 minutes before we could walk in the front door with our
Okay.
negative results.
Hmm.
So that's the context for this party where the hugging happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to add that piece in that we are in different times,
Yeah.
and so that has to be
Right.
We just have to find new ways. But the gift of touch and the gift of presence, I'm not sure how much, Carrie, you know about the ingredients of the authentic relating training that I do with
No.
Art International.
I want to know.
Well, there's 5 practices around authentic relating that get kind of workshopped in experiential exercises. So when we're live in person together, we're in dyads or triads or sitting in a group, and we are like, these are embodiment exercises
Mm.
where we're asked to like share a story, and then the other person is reflecting in a certain way, and we're getting real time awareness of how we're showing up to other people, so
Hmm.
that we can then ask ourselves, is that how I want to show up?
Oh.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
is how you're perceiving me real? Is it who I am?
Hmm.
And this is part of the unraveling. So after you spend 20 hours in this workshop, 2 10-hour days, the final activity of this
Hmm.
program is what we call nourishment pods.
Hmm.
And so you get in a group of 3 or 4, and everyone is given the time to check in with themselves and then say, this is what I would like for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I would like eye contact. I would like touch. I would like soft, gentle strokes on my back. I would like someone to tell me a story. I like being read to. Or maybe I've had someone say, I really enjoy orating. Can I recite you a poem?
Oh,
It feels
wow.
really good to me to do that. Like, I've had people ask if we could get up and dance to their favorite song on their playlist, like in this corner over here. Could we just go, So the nourishment pod is about what would feel good for you right now. But
Hmm.
after doing, I don't know, almost 300 hours of these courses over the last 3 years, I can tell you that 90% of the requests are touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though all these other things can happen, it is the most common ask.
Mm.
And we're talking about like 5,000 grads over, I don't know, 60 different cities around the world that this
Wow.
work has been to. And the stats are pretty similar.
Oh my God. I can just, like, I'm just imagining being there. I love that. This has got to be amazing for a lot of people, and for some people, make them really uncomfortable. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
yeah, and
depending on the layers.
you've also chosen to be there. And so,
Right, right,
I mean,
right,
you're the type of person that is looking to learn more about yourself.
right.
And we know that there's discomfort on the edge of growth.
Yeah.
So maybe there'll be moments that are uncomfortable as you're
Right.
stretching. But what's going to be really interesting is that I've just said yes to do this work in the prisons.
Oh,
And so I'm
Oh, wow.
flying to Colorado
Wow.
in 2 weeks to do an authentic relating training around um, uh, conflict resolution,
huh.
Yeah.
and some relationship aikido, like how to receive a charge and how to not escalate. And
Wow.
so and then on December 6th and 7th, I'll be in the Denver Women's Prison doing this Art of Being Human course with Lori Lazar of the Realness Project.
Hmm.
It's a nonprofit associated with Art International. And so teaching this work to inmates, when you think that the population of the incarcerated, they don't get touch.
Right.
They don't even get eye contact,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That
Wow.
sounds
And
like very
80%
helpful
of them are
work.
going to
Yeah.
be out on the street.
Yeah.
What's that, Ryan?
I was saying that sounds like amazingly helpful work then to go in and work with them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, you're doing a lot of stuff. I can't remember if I heard you talk about that, but I was like, well, that's going to be really powerful. Are you nervous?
Oh, I'm terrified. Oh,
Right?
yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how could I not be terrified? I've never been in a jail in my life,
Right.
ever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've only had one person I've ever known say to me, I've been in jail. Like, I was a criminal and I was
Mm-hmm.
charged and I did time.
Right.
Like I know one person.
Right.
I mean, it tells you a little bit about my privilege and my circles. And so I think I'm going to get my mind blown, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think I'm going to learn humility. I think I'm going to have a total embodied experience of gratitude
Yeah.
for the freedom that I have and the choices that I get to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah, whew,
Well, and
I
I
bet
know.
you're
And
going to teach me. I mean, that's what's
right.
up.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
going to
Yeah.
teach me.
Well, it's got to be one of those things where you go in, you're like, look, you're not going in to dictate, like, all right, like I'm just going to come in with my thing and tell you all about it and then whatever. Like what you just said, like it's got to be a partnership dance too. Like they will, you can learn from them, and also it's like dancing together, right? Like you have to observe to say like, what do you need, right? In order to like then provide. And in that, you're right. I can't even imagine all the learning.
Well,
Like,
we're just going to model the practices. That's all
yeah.
that's going to happen. Is the woman that's been running this program, Lori, um, she just models this type of interaction that we're going to have, and then each of them have it with each other, and then we talk about how that experience was, and so we just facilitate this dialogue of what's going on for them when
Right.
they're having this experience and this exercise. And it's through that that we observe and reflect back what it is we're seeing. And so I
Wow.
just have to show up
Mm-hmm.
for this
Right.
practice that I know and love. And um, I think what I'm terrified about is how I will handle, like, what is their truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
uh, the stories of,
Yeah.
I imagine, what they've seen and been through in their life, their trauma and pain that's
Right.
going to show up through
Yeah.
this work, and how will I hold that?
Right.
Right. It seems like you're bringing this sense of humanity to a very dehumanizing situation. So, like, getting them out of that and getting them to be more open probably can only just help people.
Right. Right. Or just meeting them in their story, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I think respecting the story is validating as well. Like, I see you. Nothing has to change here. Like, your story is your story. I want to see it. I want to witness it. I want to honor it. Good, bad, or ugly. You know what I mean? I
See,
think it,
you can show up. You can,
yeah.
yeah,
I would really, well, I know, I can't wait. We're going to post all these links. I would love to post links to like
Mm-hmm.
all of this training and the nonprofit, and because it's such a great thing we're talking about, just all the like conscious healing and conscious like presence and touch and all of that. Because like you'd said earlier, as we, crossing and knocking on things like are able to be together more, I feel like people are going to need this. I don't even think they're going to know how, right? It's just been so funky and for many reasons, right? Like there's been so many things that tear us apart. Not even just the pandemic, right? So just some road back to some healing and connecting again, and bridges maybe fixed, maybe they're just burned permanently, but that can be a part of growth as well. Um, what are your God, I could just see you writing something out of all of that as well, just to share back. But um, what are your next things also with the podcast and the radio that
yeah.
what's next on there? Because you meet with a lot of different people. What's your vision next for that?
Well, I'm so fortunate, like, that I get to meet these incredible humans who are mindset shifters, right? They're just,
Yeah.
they everyone really has excavated their own gold,
Hmm.
and is saying here. I mean, it's based on the philosophy that if your meaning of life is to find your gift, then your purpose is just to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
meeting all these people who are giving it away. And so when I shared the story about Love Church, it was to tie the relationship that I built with Cindy and Jeff, who were running the cafe,
Hmm.
and started a radio station. and they have other partners now that they're running the Capitol Hill location with, now that they're live and back open. And so they invited me to participate in the radio with programming on Sunday for Cindy's Free to Be Sunday show.
Nice.
And Pink Noise became one of the sort of anchor episode of that series, of that program.
Great.
And that's what launched it on September 20th of 2020. And since then, year one had 44 episodes. And those were hour-long deep dives with individual practitioners. And all of those can be found, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, under Pink Noise.
Nice.
Amplify your gold.
Right, exactly. You got some catching up to do, people.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your journal out. Get your journal out. Get your hanky out. I'm just going to be weeping involved.
Season 2 is a more intimate collection of conversations. They're 20-minute deep dives, or in Carrie's case, there's 2.
Because I just can't shut up. All right.
Yeah. And it's with a select group from year one. The criteria for the selection had everything to do with whether or not they are showing up with one-on-one services to offer virtually. I wanted this collection of practitioners to be able, for me to be able to market them online and have geography not be the criteria for whether or not they were a good fit.
Oh, okay,
So who's doing virtual practice, virtual healing? What's the modality? If this is what you love and you want more of, then let's show up and talk about impact stories. So season 2 has a lot to do with impact stories, and it's Pink Noise Posse now, because it's this collection of folk that came from Pink Noise. And so pinknoiseposse.com is the place where, the stories are told, where the 15 current members as of today are, but I imagine that growing. And I see versions. I see themes for season 3, and I see themes for season 4. And when we talk about the Realness Project and the authentic relating work that's happening, and Carrie, something you said right after that felt really in alignment with exactly, you're the perfect person to show up, like, with this population. And I think all of the other posse members, if there could be an hour a month donated, or a session a month donated from each posse member to the inmates as integration, like how to take what I've learned about myself in this program, and now how about some integration tips for day-to-day living? How do I access more of that? And so I would love to see the group become I mean, it's a healing collective. So take that and apply it where it needs to be applied.
Right.
Those are the paths I want to find in my future. That's
Yeah, it seems
Sky's
like
the limit.
healing collective should just grow. It wants to grow. It needs to. Everybody needs it.
And I think it wants to partner with other healing collectives who have similar mindset. I've learned of one that started here in Seattle by someone named Hannah, who I've yet to meet. It's called 3 Moon Collective. And it looks like they're doing beautiful things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll include that. I'm going to include that as well. Well, and imagine, like, again, I think people will come together, right? Can you imagine just like a healing festival?
Oh, I can. I'll co-produce it with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I would love that. That's all coming. I know that's all coming. That'll be fantastic. And the world's going to need it. The world needs it now, really. Truthfully, right?
It's going to be a long festival.
Right. It will be a long festival. Tears and like hankies at the door. Like, well, Sheri, did you ever think, like, I don't, like, from the beginning, did you ever think, like, wow, look at all the stuff you've done? Was there some point in your life where you're like, look at where you are now? And there's, like, you're just starting, like, to build, like, continue to build on your basic, like, desire for like care and healing and all of that. Like, what's that feel like? Do you ever think like that? Like, oh wow, 15, 20 years ago, did you think, look at you, like, look at all the stuff you're doing?
I certainly wouldn't have. No, 15, 20 years ago, none of this, none
Yeah,
of this was in my, it wasn't even like an itch, you know,
right.
like it
Yeah.
just wasn't. I had, I don't know what I had. I was going to say I had my blinders on.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't know how to explain how I was feeling. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I really knew myself. And I'm still figuring it out. It's not
Yeah.
like I've reached some destination.
Do we ever?
Right.
Yeah. But man, I mean, the learning is exceptional. So it took slowing down.
Yeah.
I move at a really fast pace. I vibrate at a really high frequency, and I
Mhm.
can just, I just back stuff up, social engagements, activities, day to day, hour to hour. And that was actually my numbing agent. That was my drug.
Mm.
That was my addiction, was just more people, more social engagement.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me not be with myself.
Ooh, there you go.
So it wasn't until I ended the marriage with my ex-husband and
Mhm.
sat in the discomfort of not knowing what my life was going to be about. And
Yeah.
soon thereafter, I had to quit my job in advertising because it felt so, I didn't have a good feeling about who it was serving.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
who
Mhm.
benefited from me doing a good job,
Yeah.
right? The people who owned the companies and corporations that made the product and services that we did great branding messages for.
Right.
You
Hmm.
know, if I was really good at my job, then somebody was going to feel really good about paying my creative agency a whole bunch of money to
Right.
give them a bunch of advertising and design stuff. Like I love, I loved my job and I loved the people that I worked with for 20 years. So
Mhm.
I don't want to piss on it, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
beautiful people doing creative things. Such a big bleeding heart for the creatives. That's
Mhm.
why I opened a gallery. And it's why I started a nonprofit after I opened a gallery, so that we could connect all of the volunteers from every neighborhood art walk together and share a hive mind over what we were
Yeah.
doing. Because
Yeah.
everyone wanted to bring more shoppers to their neighborhood for their monthly art walk.
Hmm.
You know, and if you're in Seattle, there's 14 neighborhoods that have a monthly art walk, and nobody was
Right.
talking to each other.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
love this.
I saw myself as a person that was building community.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that I completely didn't know who I was. Like there's a ton of threads that I can pull on that go back to childhood,
Mhm.
that go back to, defying the comfort zone of my well-intentioned parents who thought my world should be this big as I make a small ball with my hands
Hmm.
on the
Right.
radio. And yet, my capacity was just something different.
Good for
And
you.
it wasn't right or wrong. It just was different
Mhm.
in their comfort zone.
Right.
And and I think that was hard for them to see me risk.
Right.
I mean, it was even like running for student council president. Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't do it because how are you going to feel if you don't get it?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't know how to deal with your disappointment, was basically what they were saying.
Right. But how are you going to know if you don't try?
Right.
Even better
Like, I had to
advice.
be right with
Yeah.
me at the end of that day,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right? Like, I had to decide that I was going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And that's so hard too when you're in your tribe, like your family, your tribe to be different, right? I mean, we think, the parents are supposed to be the ones who back you or have the wisdom and they're just people,
Hmm.
right? Who come from their own upbringing. But to be someone in your family who you are who you are and it's not going to be the same and you still need to flourish. That's a hard spot. And I think a lot of people can break there. You know what I mean? Because we all need love and care, and we want that from parents, we want it from family. But if you are just different or you like things differently than everyone in your family or most of them, like that doesn't feel good. That's hard. That's a hard spot. I love it when people follow themselves or somehow believe in themselves, though, or just can't help themselves. You know what I mean? Like, thank goodness,
Yeah.
and look at all the things that you've done, and for such, I mean, beautiful reasons. And, like we've said a million times, like the world needs it. So I'm really glad to have you here. I'm really glad to share all the things you're doing and all, links to all the things we talked about here.
I've been
There's,
taking notes like crazy during this. So
I
many
love
things.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. There's more to come, right? Like this feels like the beginning of even a lot more that's going on. And I hope people appreciate it. I hope more people take the chance to get what they need, healing wise, or open up to it. You know, and I hope that you just keep connecting the dots and connecting the people. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Me
Yeah, you're
too.
welcome.
Me
You're
too. I mean,
welcome.
it's self-awareness. I mean, that's
Mhm.
you just got to recognize that if the story you're telling yourself is that you can't,
Mhm.
like, just what would happen if you told yourself you can? I mean, it's just that decision. However you see things is how they are. So what are you
Yeah.
choosing every day?
Right.
Yeah.
What are you choosing to believe? My partner and I have this expression where we say everything has a way of working out for us.
Mhm.
And we just keep saying it, and it
You
just
just keep
keeps
saying
being
it. Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's that simple. It's actually that simple. And just to put a finer point on it, I ran into an old friend a couple weeks back, and she was telling me a story and about a physical condition, and her response to it was, "But my body's very gentle on me."
oh.
I thought, how often do we hear that
Mm-hmm.
someone
Mhm.
says, "My body is gentle on me"?
Yeah.
We might have talked about this, Carrie, um, on the pink noise episode, because I then had an idea in my next meditation where I was kind of chastising my own brain, like, don't you forget this. Don't you forget this detail that we're having in this meditation, because I don't want to have to get up and write it down in my journal. So like, you better remember, like, I was threatening my own mind that you better not forget.
I do that
And
all the
so,
time. So
and
it's totally
you do
normal.
it all the
Yeah.
time, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so flip this switch. I sat there and I went, I'm going to trust you, mind. I'm
Mhm.
going to trust you to remember what I need to know. You do such a good job helping me remember what is the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the kind of energy we need.
Kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some self-kindness. Because we don't have any issues with perfectionism here, right?
Mm.
No.
I mean, Ryan,
No.
what would that be like for you next time you're,
I'm gonna try it for sure because I do think I
yeah.
beat up on
Yeah.
myself. I'm like, how did you forget this? Like literally, you walked into another room and you forgot everything.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And instead you could be saying, I walked into this other room and I'm accessing my curiosity, and that shiny thing in the corner caught my attention. And then I used my imagination and I wondered if this other thing could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's gifts
Yeah. Yeah.
unfolding when you forget the reason why you walked in the room.
Yeah. It all has a different purpose. That's the thing. You just gotta
Yeah.
be thankful for the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. All of this is so awesome. Sheri, thank you so much for being here. I
Mm-hmm.
just loves you. I loves you.
Thank you for all the pink energy.
Yes, I love it. And hey, folks, go check out the podcast. Go check out all the links. Go get yourself some love. You deserve it. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent.